Okay, everyone, the Hangout is live on air. If this is your first time using Google Hangouts, which I'm assuming most of you it is, there is a chat feature that is actually on the Google Hangout page, which I'm actually going to pull that page up and post it in the FBA Master Group right now. This will take you straight to the place where you can actually interact and ask questions and see some stuff that's going on. I see that Rick says, "Good evening, everyone." So I'm going to you can use that chat there. I'm going to say, hey. There's also a chat that once you pull it up, there's a group chat, so you can actually see everything here. And you can also, there's a question and answer section. So you can submit questions. I'll get them on my end, and then I'll be able to answer those. And then I can actually tell you that your question has been answered. So you'll see me bouncing back and forth between the two pages, but it is live right now, and you can also be watching it straight on the Facebook group or on the website. It's really whatever you would like to be doing. But what I'll be doing is just taking any questions. I'll take them via chat, I'll take them via the question and answer feature, and I'll take them off the Facebook group. But what I'll do is I'll answer those questions to the best of my abilities, and then we'll kind of go from there. So the first question I am going to answer came from the Facebook group this morning. And what it was, let me pull up so that I can have the exact phrasing of it. It was Julia asking, what was my fourth quarter strategy? So just so everyone knows, my fourth quarter strategy really didn't vary a whole lot from the rest of the year, besides buying a little bit more product. But there was a shift in the type of product. So typically, I like to diversify between beauty, health, some toys, and then also into grocery. And you'll see the occasional electronics if I find a good deal, or a few other categories. As I shift to the Christmas season, what I'm really focusing on is buying as many toys as possible. And the way I like to do it is I like to hop in and look at some of the old sales history that is on the charts from like Keepa or Tractor or Camel. And I like to kind of find toys that I expect to kind of go out of stock as Black Friday and Cyber Monday come around. Buy those toys, get them into the warehouse, and then wait until the stock goes out and then have the supply right there, instead of kind of waiting until I find out they're out of stock, trying to run to the store and find them. I like to try to do it a little bit ahead of time. So that's one thing I've done a little different as I've entered quarter four. I've tried to also send in more of my replenishables. Big reason behind that is because as they pick up in sales in toys, naturally, just to make life easy, people are going to also be buying other things online. If you're already going to get a big shipment, you might as well just add a few other items on. It saves you from going to the store. So I've been stocking up a little bit on those. Also holiday foods, things that I know are going to be popular as they go along. So any type of holiday cooking or things that you'll need for those kind of dinners. Those are kind of the items that I've been stocking up on as replenishables. But other than that, the only other thing that I've been doing is I've been buying a lot of frozen. When the whole frozen debacle happened a few months ago, somehow I got approved. Not really sure how it happened, but I'm allowed to sell some of the frozen dolls. So I look very strange going into a store buying a lot of frozen dolls, but I know you all have kind of had that same feeling. But that's something that I've been doing a lot of. So my whole garage right now, and if it wasn't dark out there, because I haven't changed the light bulbs today, I would go show everybody what I have out there. But it's full of frozen dolls. So I'm actually processing them right now and getting them into the warehouse and trying to make sure that I have the supply ready as I enter quarter four. So my recommendations for anybody who is looking to kind of ramp up is don't stop looking for those items that you typically sell. They're going to have a little bit increased demand because there's going to be increased traffic on Amazon. So I wouldn't stop doing those. But if you're going to be looking into toys, I would recommend getting the toys that are kind of hard to find, or ones that you can make a good amount of profit on and quickly get them in, quickly turn them, and make some money that way. So that's just kind of my little bit of opinion on that. I know there's other thoughts on how everything should be done, but I kind of like to think of it with the whole quick turn um, and go from there. On the page, it sees eKing says, is there a way to see the video and this chat? Yes, if you go to the link that is in the FBA Master Group, that's plus.google.com, and has a whole bunch of words behind it, and just hit the Start button, you should be pulled into the Google Hangout on air. So we'll see if anybody gets in here. Right now it says I have 12 people viewing, but I haven't had anybody with the chat yet. So if we can't figure out the chat, we'll just have everybody go to the Facebook group and I'll kind of field questions from there. Kind of the next thing that I was asked by someone today in a personal chat was kind of just to give my story of how I got started, so that everyone could kind of understand where I came from, why I do what I do, and kind of go from there. So if you haven't been on the FBA Master site, I'm going to kind of do a little backstory before I got started in with that stuff, and then kind of move forward into what I'm doing now and hope to do in the future. So to get started, when I first started buying and selling things online, it was actually about 3 years ago during college. I went to Ball State University, and my degree was in economics and in sales. And what I decided to do was I had this old set of golf clubs, and I really was getting into golf, and I wanted to try to kind of get a new set of clubs. So one of my hobbies was to kind of be on social media, learn as much as I can about it. And I found out that a lot of people were posting their books on a Facebook page with their ISBN numbers and the price they'd like to pay for it. So what I was doing was I was taking those ISBN numbers, I was plugging them into Amazon's trade-in program, or a site called bigwords.com, which is actually an aggregator for trade-ins and pricing. So if you haven't used that before, it's bigwords.com. It'll be in the chat feature here, and I'll have a link to it on the FBA Master site. But what it does is I can put an ISBN number in it. It'll actually run through a whole list of book buyback sites, and it'll actually allow me to say I'd like to trade it in here, the high price. It'll take me to that, allow me to do the trade-in. And those trade-ins are nice because they kind of guarantee the money as long as the book is in good condition and it is not an international edition. So what I would do is I'd fill boxes up, send them into these locations, and actually ended up making about $1,500 the first semester end that I did this, and was able to buy my golf clubs and then kind of make a little money on top of that. So I did it again the next semester, and then after that, what I ended up doing was I took a full-time job in Indianapolis, didn't like it, ended up leaving after about 3 months, started my own business with a college roommate. We did some social media and digital marketing technology stuff. That's why you see me using Google Hangouts instead of some of the other typical ways you see people do these kind of webcast things. I'm a big proponent of any free technology that's available, and I like the fact that this is currently being recorded and will be live in the Facebook group, BA Master website, and you can see it live right now if you're just watching here and on YouTube. So it's kind of a nice way to make sure that people in their own kind of fields or areas of expertise, it's not expertise, but comfort, can watch this video and ask questions. So did that, and then about March, my dad sent me a link to a podcast. I'm assuming the majority of you have listened to it. It's Pat Flynn's Smart Passive Income podcast, episode 99 with Jessica LaRue. He sent me that in an email, and it said, you may find this interesting. So I actually opened it up, and at the time I was driving a lot. So what I did was I actually listened to it and was like, this is kind of interesting. So what I did was I didn't quite believe it. There was a kind of a doubt that I could actually go buy something and sell it. So in order to satisfy my curiosity, I actually hopped down to the local Walgreens and bought a few toys. So toys were kind of my gateway drug into selling online. And what these toys were, they were some clearance toys that they had. Usually they have those buy two for $13.98, get one free deals. This was one of those. So I bought 4 total, one good deal in one of those 3 packs, and sent them in to the Amazon warehouse using the FBA program. And my dad, actually, who you've probably seen in the FBA Master Facebook group, kind of taught me how to ship this stuff in. And I shipped it in, thought, well, Chris, you've just lost yourself about 50 bucks. I'm not sure what you're going to do with that, but nice try. About 3 days later, I got an email. We have shipped an item that you've sold. And at that moment, I knew, wow, this is either really lucky or I have stumbled onto something here. And I'm like, okay, so let's go buy a few more toys. So I did, and actually also bought some other, I think it was health and beauty and grocery, which ended up playing really nicely into the fact that I kind of was grandfathered in on all of the gating requests or the gating stipulations that Amazon put in place. But I started selling with those items, and then kind of have moved up since then. So that is kind of a little bit of my story. What I'm doing now and why this site is here. I've learned a lot since I've started doing or selling on Amazon, and I just wanted to find a way to kind of give back to those who are just starting or have these questions, because I was lucky enough to have my dad to kind of turn to answer these questions for me, and I couldn't imagine what would happen if I had no idea. So that's kind of why I wanted to do these, so if anybody has those questions, I can help answer them. And then I kind of want to build a community where everybody can help each other. It's just something I like to do. Digital marketing is kind of my thing, and building a blog is pretty easy for me, so I really enjoyed it. And I just kind of want to test my skills in digital marketing by getting everything out there, and then kind of teach everyone how to do it too. A little bit more about me. When I was working my own business, I actually also was a teacher at a local community college. I was been told that I was pretty good at teaching. I'm not sure if I believe it or not, but I feel that I can kind of teach people in a way that isn't as easy as for everybody else. So I hope that I'm being able to help you in some way. But that's just a little bit of story with me, where I see the blog and these going in the future. I kind of want to be a little more hands-on, where I can kind of show people what to do and kind of teach them and learn myself. The best way I learn is by teaching others. So it's always really, really nice for me to kind of teach you, because I may learn something along the way. So that's kind of a little bit about why I do what I do and where I see it going in the future. So let's see what my next question is from the Facebook group. This was from this morning, and if you're not a part of it, it's called FBA Master Group. And I'm always happy to let anybody in. All we ask is that you kind of be appropriate and always try to help others out. So the next question was from Robert. He asked for the essential tools to build, grow, manage inventory, and process. So that's going to be kind of what we are covering now. So when I got started, I really only started with a few products, a box that I bought from Walmart. I invested about total $60 to get started. I used a roll of tape and some scissors, $1 from Walmart, and then I bought this. I had the scissors at home. I used a home scale that my wife and I had, and I kind of estimated on everything with weight. I always was paying over on that. And then that was pretty much it. So I didn't go and invest $5,000 into inventory and get started. You can actually see in my income reports, which I still need to update the other months that I haven't got to yet. But I really did start extremely small. I think the first month I spent $300 in inventory and didn't have any other subscription services at all. I kind of just started bare bones. As I grew, a few things started becoming really helpful. Since I was buying a lot of clearance, those Scotty peelers, I really like the metal ones, except you'll get like cuts and everything on your hands, which are just a kind of a work hazard, I guess. So there's that. I bought myself a pretty nice little weighing scale for packages because I was having issues making sure I got the right weight. just a lot easier for me to do that. So I bought one of those. I bought myself a barcode scanner so I didn't have to type the stupid numbers in all the time, because that gets infuriating when you kind of miss it by one number. You have to sit there and hold it real close. As you can see, I'm wearing glasses. You'll typically find me where I'm wearing contacts, but it's really hard for me to kind of see those. So I got that, bought a tape gun. That was kind of my next step up. And you may hear a lot of people talk about their inventory services that they use and kind of keeping track of everything. I'm kind of blessed with a pretty, not photographic memory, but I can remember things pretty well. So what I actually used was a old accounting software that I used to use for my small business. It's called Wave Apps. It's a free accounting software that is cloud-based. And what it allows me to do is allows me to take a picture on my phone of any receipt that I have, actually file it under my purchases, and then I have a digital copy of that receipt whenever I want to look at it. And I'm also able to track my inventory costs and all other costs like that. Where I do run into with that, and I am exploring inventory labs right now, is that I was having trouble keeping exact costs of my products, my purchase price of them. So I could do my best with memorizing it, but memorizing is only so much. And when you get 500-600 items, different SKUs into your inventory, it starts kind of playing with your head a little bit. So a little tip that my dad gave me for those of you who aren't ready to kind of invest in an inventory software like that, but are wanting to kind of track somehow, he uses the SKUs, the merchant SKUs, to actually keep track of where he bought the item, how much he paid for the item, and when he bought it. So he uses a code. And I may be saying it a little backwards, but you'll get the gist of it. So like the first part of it may say 11 dash 14 for November of 2014. Then it may say Wall or Walmart, WM, so he knows it's from Walmart. And then it may say dash 1899 for $18.99. That way, when he adjusts prices in the system, he's able to kind of look at that, see what he paid for it, where he bought it, when he bought it, so that he can kind of use that to determine if it's a good deal or not, or if he should hold out, or where he should put that price point at. So that's just a little tip that he gave me, and I know he's not on here right now because he's watching Survivor this evening, but if you have any more questions about that, feel free to ask him in the Facebook group. He can kind of elaborate a little more of his coding system, but that gave him that clarity of keeping track of that inventory, but not actually having to pay for a system. And then when he would run reports, he would just export it to Excel, and he can actually organize it by either that code bit of what was going on in the SKU, so he could classify every WM and highlight those, and he could kind of break down the inventory that way. It's not the prettiest system, but it's one that does work. So that is an idea as you kind of scale up. After that initial growing point of getting that equipment in, I invested in a Dymo printer and a laser printer so that I can kind of print my own labels. I highly recommend anyone who uses the UPS system at all, you can get free like sticky full 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper from them. It just says for UPS use only. So you can order those and deliver them right to your door. Those are fantastic to print out your labels so you don't have to tape them all on, especially since you have both sets of labels. You have your FBA label and you have your shipping label. So that's kind of a tip that I've seen with that. Once I kind of grew, I got those UPS services. I was tired of carrying like 27 boxes into the UPS store and having a lady look at me really weird. I'm not usually strange in the fact that I don't usually care what people think about me too much, but I always felt like a hassle when I was going into these places and carrying in boxes upon boxes and couldn't open the door. So I just set them outside of my house now, which is really nice because the UPS guy just comes and picks them up. And I also have 2 other people who do some FBA selling that I've kind of been training around the area, and they actually come and use my services of UPS pickup to kind of drop off their boxes. So if you do have a little community or a few people in your community, it may be a good way to kind of split the cost of those pickups. Before I was full-fledged in the smart pickup mode, I did request the pickups and paid the $6 a piece for those. until the fact where I was realizing every time I did 2 or more pickups in a week, it was way cheaper for me just to, at least I saved a few bucks by doing the every week. There have been a few weeks where I have lost a little money due to that, but not a whole lot. So that would be kind of where I'm at now. Future plans at this house. My wife and I actually just moved into a new house. Right before this, I was actually putting in outlets in my bathroom so I didn't shock myself. And that's why I was running a little behind on putting this up, because we actually had the power out and my computer was taking a while to boot up from there. But my garage is going to kind of turn into a processing center. I hope to have everything kind of laid out to where it can be at, so that I can easily pick up my poly bags, my labels, have my Scotty peelers where I need to have them at, tape guns, kind of a tape measure built into the table so I don't have to measure with my tape measure every time, and then my scale right there, and then kind of set them out by the garage door and then move them out in the morning to make sure the UPS guy can come pick them up. So that's kind of how I'm scaling there. I am also testing out Inventory Labs. Been using it for about a week now. Really not sure how I feel about it, partly because I'm having to take so much time to input all of my pricing for that, and I'm having to do a lot of research on my receipts and kind of scan through that. So my recommendation would be, if you haven't started using it yet and haven't ramped up to a very large amount of inventory, it may be a good time to get started before you do that, so you don't have to input all that information post the transfer over, because it is kind of a pain in the butt. And I kind of wish I would have got it started sooner. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to get all of that information transferred over in the next week or so, and then kind of go from there. So Robert, I hope that kind of addresses your question about processes and kind of ramping up to build my inventory and grow it. Where I started growing my inventory, and I know you'll hear some people talk about how they don't like using credit cards. What I actually did was I never actually put a dime of my own money into this business. I always borrowed it and then repaid it off on my credit cards. So starting off that $300 that first month, what would happen is by the time I would get a payment from Amazon, I would pay my balance off in full with my credit card, take whatever additional money was there that I had made profit-wise, go out and buy more inventory, pay off that bit of the credit card, and then keep kind of rolling that into each other. So, and I was explaining this to my business partner from my digital marketing area, because he's now my coworker at my new job. And we were I was explaining it to him today. And the whole theory is that you can kind of borrow money for about a month and a half off of using a credit card. But the key part is you have to pay it off, or you're going to pay that interest. So I kind of try to use my credit card to kind of give me that capital to buy the inventory. And I keep my sales ranks very low, and I turn over my inventory very quickly to make sure that I can kind of keep that credit card paid off. And since I've been doing this for about 7 months now, I've never had an issue with that. I've been able to keep the turnover consistent enough to make sure I pay everything, and I still to this day have not actually put an actual dime of my own money from savings into the Amazon business. And I actually now have about 2,200 items in inventory that are sitting in the warehouse currently. And I probably have another 500 or 600 on the way or in my garage right now that need to be processed and shipped out. So that's just kind of a little bit of how I've expanded on my inventory. But when I first started, you're looking at maybe I had 10 items in inventory, sold those 10, kind of built up a little bit from there, and then kind of would sell the next bit. Then I would sell the next bit. And then I'd kind of almost double my inventory every time. And then I made some very large wholesale purchases in September or August and September, and those account for a lot of my inventory still. But the profit margin was the return on investment was so good on those that it was well worth me investing into them. So I've been having those as kind of a steady source of income, and I've been doing some of the retail shopping and online shopping to kind of supplement that. But I'm starting to really shift my perspective into online sourcing, because I find I can do it during my day job, and then when I have breaks and free time, and then get it delivered to my door and don't have to take the hassle of running around. And I also get the boxes and packing material, which makes it really nice and easy. So again, if you're just joining, I see we have 14 people now. You are more than welcome to use the chat feature in Google Hangouts or the question and answer feature, or if that's too confusing to you, and maybe it is for some people, and I apologize, I just thought we tried to use a different technology. You can hop over to the FBA Master Facebook group, and you can actually post your questions right there, and I will be happy, and I'm actually checking back and forth on them, and I'll pull the question in and answer it from there. So the next one that I'm going to answer came from the Facebook group this morning, and let's see who it was from. It was from Mark. Mark asked me to kind of go over some graphs and kind of how I can make a good or a bad decision with that. And I know that's probably how most of you found me, my online morning sourcing routine video that I did a few days ago. So I just want to show you what I do. I'm actually going to pop this over to a screen share in just a second here. So if it does lag for a second, realize I'm just going to share my screen. We're going to do the entire screen here. Now you should be able to hear me and see me go into oblivion. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Keepa, which is going, you can see I'm in the FBA master group right now. If this is what you don't have, take a look. But we're going to go over to Keepa, and I'm going to we're going to do some live looking at some graphs here. Maybe we'll find a deal together. I haven't been on here since about 3 o'clock today, so I have no idea what to expect. So I'm going to go to Explore and Daily Drops. And I have my images set to small, so we're going to go to medium, so it's more of what everybody else sees. And we're going to see not a lot of things here. 37% is the highest percentage drop there is. So we're going to refresh and make sure it's pulling everything in here. There we go. Okay, so my computer was just kind of lagging a bit. We see we have some marine hose. We'll look at that. Who knows? If you hear dings or anything, my Facebook notifications are going off, and you'll see those up there. I don't know where that notification's at, so let's see here what the question was. Robert, I'll get to those bundling things here in a minute. Let's see if there's anything else here. Looks like I could play some hockey. Turtle Beach 7, we'll look at that. I saw this in Walmart the other day. If I was a kid, I would want it. I know that's probably a really bad way of looking at it, but it's really kind of cool. The Tinker Toys were on sale today on Amazon, so is the Kinects. See if there's anything else. No. The other little trick I like to do is go to New and just see if there's anything that jumps out at you. These dollars, I know there's going to be additional shipping on those, so I usually don't use them. But you can kind of scroll down through here. I'm not seeing a lot today, but there's that monkey. That monkey's kind of creepy. But we'll go over to the charts here. So here's a chart for the ProGuard Street Hockey Goal. And it looks like it runs about 54, 54, 53, pops up to 129 and right back down. First look at this, and we'll take a year look at it. This would be a no, 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 no. We just saw a spike that gave us an artificial price drop here. This kind of skyscraper bit. I almost want to call it like a middle finger saying, ha, tricked ya. But that skyscraper kind of tells you that there's a price drop, and we see that price has never been that high. We can go ahead and take a look at the product for any of you that just want to see to make sure here. Keepa looks like it's tracking it like that. Sales rank's 120,000. And I almost want to guarantee here if we hit camel, it doesn't have enough information. My guess is you'd see a sales rank plummet during the time it was at $100 and some, and then kind of rise back up after that. So we're going to kind of pass on that one. We're going to go over here to the Turtle Beach Marvel 7 gaming set. Looks like it runs about 99. We got the drop to 69, and then a bounce up to 151, back down to 69. This may be of interest. Can't guarantee that, but let's take a look here if we go over to Amazon. Looks like the next lowest is at 130-ish, or right below that. Amazon's got them in stock for $69.99. You'll see they were running pretty steady there for a bit. Let's go down to sales rank. 9,000 in video games. I don't do a lot of video games, so I don't know if that's good or bad. My guess is it's pretty good. Best Buy also has them on sale. My guess this is a price match against Best Buy. So let's take a look at Camel. And let's go here. The average price, and John, see that there. Sorry you're a Bears fan. I'm not so sure they're going to be that good this weekend, but you can think as you please. We see the average listing is about 132, and the lowest they've ever gotten has been 98. Looks like Camel hasn't picked up the drop yet. This may be a good sign. So let's look at the sales rank here. You can see even, let's take a look here. That is on between November 1st and August 3rd. Let's see here. November 1st and August 3rd will be right in here. That was at $200. That was the lowest sales rank of about a 68,000. Everything else seems to be pretty good, even at the ranks of about 150 to 120 when they drop. You'll see some bounces, but looks like a pretty good sales rank here. So this is one of the items that I can't be 100% sure on. So let's take a look at our FBA calculator extension that's added on here. And then let's put in if they were going for 130 flat. Looks like if everything was in a perfect world, you could get them to going for 130 minus your shipping cost, you could probably make about $30. So $30 on a $70 investment, you're looking a little under 50% return on your money. Not fantastic in the world of online sourcing, but not bad either. So if this is your cup of tea, this may be a good find and you can run with it. But for me, I would probably pass on this. So let's take a look here on this because we're going to kind of go that one step farther to kind of see what other people are selling to kind of see if there's any other good deals. So we're going to kind of scroll down here and see where it says customers who bought this also bought. And what we're looking for is what doesn't match. So kind of scroll through here, and if nothing jumps out as matching, we kind of look at it. Zippo lighter, that's a little strange. We're going to take a look. Probably nothing, but we're just going to look anyway. I like to scroll down and see if there's any other items it recommends. Doesn't look like it. So once again, this is the Turtle Beach Marvel 7. Be a so-so buy depending on your margins and what Amazon's pricing goes from there. Zippo, we're going to take a look. 861, 1032. Wasted click, but we could have found something good possibly. I'm going to close that out. And this Connect roller coaster, it looks like it's been running 59, 58. Then we got to drop to 34. Let's take a look on Amazon. It is on sale because it's the deal of the day. This may be one that's probably going to bounce back up. Look like it's 59 in toys. Closest price is going to be at Target and Toys R Us. Let's see what our FBA calculator says here. Of course, it's going to play hard to get with me. I'm going to refresh real quick to see if it'll work. Yeah, it's not going to work for me today. So this one you may want to check out. This is one that you need to make sure if you do purchase it, you buy it from something that's not your Amazon account that's linked, because we don't want to give Amazon those mixed signals and show them that you're buying and selling at different prices. That's why we use another system or another account. So make sure to do that. My guess is you can make about $15 off of this. That's estimating. I'm not 100% sure. You may want to look at the camel, see what's a good chart or not. What I look for, and I'm going to pull it up so you can kind of see here. When I look at sales rank, I look for stuff that is steady. So you see a huge spike here. When it was at $59, it was at about a 150,000 sales rank. I haven't been through a quarter four, so I don't know if that's going to be good through that. I typically like to see 100,000 or lower. You see when the price drops, sales rank skyrockets. You can see the kind of dividends here. This one is okay. I think it drops. The variance in the sales rank is pretty high. We go from a 30 to 110, a 30 to 100 or 90 some. That kind of varies. Seems like there's some times where there's no sales. Just my personal opinion on this. That's kind of what I look at when I look at one of these graphs. When I look at the price history, I like to see steady lines. Then I like to see very sharp drops and very high, quick rebounds. So that's kind of what I look for on these graphs. So we're going to go ahead and just scroll down here, see if there's anything that just doesn't match up. All those kind of look like connects. Looks like people are buying a lot of those today. They may all be good buys if that's what you like, and put that through there. I'm not going to mess with them. So we're going to kind of look at this, and this is very promising. I don't know what category this is. We'll see it in a minute. But I like when I see steady, 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 and a drop. That's very good for me. You can see that it doesn't do it very often. Actually, ever. Looks like this may be the lowest price this has ever had. So we're going to go ahead and take a look here. It's at 167. We got 1964 shipping right here. And it says lowest price plus shipping's here. See, Tractor's kind of keeping it where Amazon's at. But you can see from this, Amazon's been up at $61. So let's take a look. This is in automotive, so most of you are probably gated. Very high sales rank. Like I said, I like to try to keep it under 100,000 unless there's just a lot of money to be made. This would be one that I'd kind of pass on. I just got approved in automotive, so I'm not very comfortable with telling people yes or no in that category yet. So didn't look like I found anything off Keepa. Let's go to tractor.com. For any of you that knows, there's actually the in front of it. You'll see these bricks. I'll pull those up and show you why these are a good find with a chart here. See the spike down and bounce up. We're going to actually pull this up in another browser. I'm going to keep looking here. There's two different ones you look at. You want to look at popular to see if there's been big price jumps anywhere. These guys look like something we may want to look at. More connects again. Looks like Lincoln Logs. See if there's anything else that jumps out. Nothing there. Let's go to movers. And we love to look at percentage change because price change doesn't mean crap, in my opinion. That's glass. We don't want to mess with that. That could be something there. This one looks like it's a big drop price-wise and not, so we'll look at this one as well. So I know this may be boring for you, but I just kind of want to give you a look at what I do and what I'm seeing here. So these Legos, we'll see that you can buy them on Rakuten for $18.95. Just take a look to see if they're really there. Pink's box, unavailable. Surprise. So let's take a look at this. Looks like, this is a really nice chart. This is what I like to see. Looks like we got orange at $14.99. And then we see the price rise. Just keeps going up. Merchant, Amazon's out of stock. Then Amazon comes back in stock at $14.99. Then they come back in stock again. You see they keep coming in and out of stock. The stock gets eaten up almost immediately. This is one that is perfect where you hit track this product. I want it to be $15 or less, so it gets that $14.99 there. Start tracking. What that'll do is it'll send you an email. You can also use Twitter and Facebook to get notifications that way. But that'll alert you when it's there, and then you can buy it low. When it goes out of stock, you can sell it merchant fulfilled or through the Amazon warehouse FBA and make a little bit of money there. So we hit the calculator at the current price it is going for of $44.99. You make $34 off of that, so you take out your $15. Looks like you're about profiting $20 minus a little bit of shipping into the warehouse. So that would be a good one to set a price watch on. Lego Bricks and More Pink Brick Box. There's a freebie for the night. So the Connects building set here, we see a drop, but then it kind of rebounds up. This is one I'm going to kind of say X-nay on. We could look farther, but I'm not that interested right now. Lincoln Logs, looks like a pretty good drop there. Let's take a look. It's at $39.99. It is a deal of the day again, so please be careful with these. That's why we're just going to kind of move on from there. These speakers, there is a very sharp drop there. Let's take a look. 294.50. Looks like they've been running up here according to Tractor new, but I'm not seeing any kind of confirmation on that. Looks like everybody's selling at that price. And you got the same guy selling Prime and from Nevada. So nothing interesting there. Then the last one is this cream. You see we got a sharp price drop. Let's take a look. I'm not seeing, looks like what they're playing on here, just so you know. We got a $17.49. Sell a pack of 2 for $64. Let's see what the sales rank of that is. 104,000. And kitchen and dining, which is a mislisting there. But you can see that you can buy this for $17.49. You get $29.94. Something I wouldn't personally mess with, but you could if you chose to. So that's kind of how I go through looking at that kind of stuff. And if there's any more questions, go ahead and post them in the group or the thing. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can kind of look at some of the questions here. And you see my webcam pop back up. Looks like we're still at 15 viewers. See if we've got any questions here. Oh, we got some. We got, what are you looking for when you are looking at Keepa? What I am looking for on there, I am looking for a sharp drop in price. So you kind of see that straight down plummet and then a rebound back up, shows it's a good product, or I'm also looking for it to stay down as a quick purchase. What that allows me to do, I'm just going to move a little second here. It allows me to kind of see that price history. When it comes to online sourcing, what you're trying to do is you're trying to find prices that are in balance. So you're going to have a high supply, so somebody's going to lower the price to try to get rid of that supply. You're going to buy it up, and you're going to wait till the demand gets higher, or the demand steadies out. You can see this happen at grocery stores a lot when something's about to expire. That product has there's a shelf life to it. So you'll see that when the clearance prices come out, they got to get it out of there because they'd rather take a lower profit margin than a loss. So sometimes you see people do that, or sometimes they're just good deals. So what I'm using Keepa for is to kind of track that percentage change so that I can kind of get a quick view of it so I don't have to go search for everything. So when you see me look through those graphs, I'm looking for those drops, and I'm also looking for those percentages on the front page that kind of allow me to see that top level overview. So we're going to answer that one. And then I'm going to answer this one too for you. There may be some plugins that work with Safari. I personally only use Chrome, and I know the majority of the people that do some online sourcing use Chrome. It is a free software that you can download online. And I think my video about Chrome extensions on the YouTube channel actually walks you through how to download Chrome and how to also install those plugins. So I don't know if they work with Safari, never tried it. I'm a Google user at heart, worked for Apple for a year, so I use my MacBook and all of that fancy stuff, but I find all of the online services from Google are really, really nice. So we're just going to get rid of this one real quick because I think it was a correction. And then the last one from you is sales rank, does it have to be low number for it to be a good item? Yes, for any of you just getting started that don't know, Amazon sales rank is kind of wonky. So the lower the number in a category, the better it's selling. And those numbers are based upon how they're selling compared to the other items in that category. So like if you see a Elsa doll, for instance, listed at like a 2 in toys, that low sales rank says it's the number 2 selling item in that group. It's the best way to read it to yourself. So it's like the 50,000 best selling item in that group. So the lower the sales rank, the better the item. So I hope those answers your questions there, eKing, and I appreciate you using the feature through Google Hangouts. It makes it kind of nice, and people should be able to kind of see what those questions are. So let's go to the group real quick here. John, I apologize for your baby waking up. I'm sorry about that, and I hope your 80 things get all sorted and labeled. I can understand the pain. not understand the baby pain, but I do understand that sometimes you get stuff out and it kind of makes a mess. This is recorded, so if you do come on this later, you'll be able to watch the whole thing in full there. Robert asked, do you bundle any products? And the answer is yes, and I have fallen in love with poly bags for that reason, because they are a lot easier for me to bundle with. I typically bundle grocery and health. I will occasionally bundle toys, very rarely though. I find that a lot of people are just looking for that one item. Doesn't mean that there's not places out there that, or people out there looking for bundled items. I bet you can make a lot of money that way. But the reason I typically bundle is because I can find items at a low price for individuals, and people on Amazon don't just want that one and have to pay shipping for it, or don't want that one as an add-on. So I bundle them and kind of increase the value and give them a little bit of discount. I always felt good when I would buy something where I got like 10 of something and I really paid the price I would pay for like 6 of them. Where people on the selling side kind of don't realize it at, when you bundle, you can actually lower some of the fees that Amazon charges you per shipment and per item or per item sold. So you can actually lower that cost and actually pass that off to your buyers, or you can actually use that to make a little bit more money. So it's completely up to you if you bundle or not. I personally do it. I buy some poly bags. You can probably see the link on the site. The reason I use the poly bags, they're self-sealing. I just like to have the convenience of being able to peel it, stick stuff in, stick it down, slap my label on it, be done with it. That's kind of the easiest way for me to do it. I know that people use those impulse sealers and other type of items. I don't like to use those. Probably would be nice if I would try them, but I never have. I just kind of got into the polybag side of things and kind of run with those. For anyone that doesn't know, polybags typically come with a warning on the outside of them with the suffocation warning that is necessary for Amazon selling. And I really, really love when a store will actually have stuff polybagged when they send it to me, so that when I flip it and send it back into the warehouse, they can kind of, I don't have to do that extra bit. When I was doing some original, and this is on the story of prep, when I was first doing it and I didn't want to buy all the equipment, I was actually using Amazon's prep services to kind of take care of some of the labeling and bagging and all of that stuff right up front. It actually increased my shipping tremendously. For anyone who hasn't realized yet, when you have items that need to be prepped, they get sent to the same warehouse as items that are already prepped for the stickerless commingled inventory, but they get shipped with different labels because they got to be prepped. So I found out by having all of the stuff on hand to kind of do the labeling and all the prep here, I was actually able to cut my shipments in half to the warehouses that I was shipping to, and it really has kind of streamlined my process and allowed me to kind of go to that next level of bundling and prepping at home so I can go through that. What I do for the poly bags, Laura, I actually buy them through Amazon. There's a kit that I buy that has 400 poly bags for about $30 or so. I believe the link is on the site. And then what I do with those, I take some of my Dymo labels that I have laying around, and I actually put those over all of the barcodes of the items that I put in for bundling. So those kind of get taken care of there. And then since I am sending them into the warehouse, what I do is I print off the sticker that they make me print off through the FBA shipment program, stick that on my bag, and if I'm missing a rule, I ask everybody to look at rules first. I just do things the way I do them, and as I go along, I kind of figure out if the rules are there or not. But so far, by doing it this way, I just put that label on there, and I have never had any issues through the Amazon fulfillment program. They take them all in, they go to inventory very quickly, never had any unplanned service fees with it, but I kind of block out the other barcodes, stick my label that kind of declares what it is on there, and then I kind of go from there. So I hope that answers your question, but I buy my poly bags from Amazon, get them prime shipped to me so that I can get them here quickly, and then I kind of try to monitor when I get down below about 20 of each size. I'll go ahead and place another order so I can make sure I have them for when I'm doing my bundling. So Laura, I hope that answers your question. I'll do a little bit more research into the UPC codes for it, but with my personal experience, I have always just been able to put that merchant SKU sticker on it, and that kind of has declared it as that bundle, and I've been fine with that, but I will double check the rules to make sure I'm doing that correctly, and then I will post that on the Facebook group and on the blog so that everybody can have easy access to that official answer. So are there any other questions? I think I may have one more on the Facebook group here, but if there's not, I appreciate everyone attending. I know this was kind of the first go around with this, so there may have been some hiccups. I may have not kind of been talking about what you guys really wanted to hear about. So please take what you've seen tonight, give me some suggestions on it. If there's more things you want me to talk about, I'm happy to do so. I would love to do one of these like every 2 weeks or so, unless there's just a really increase in demand that people want to hear it more often. But I just want to kind of collect those questions, give people those answers, and kind of build some content up so that people who are starting can kind of take a look and see what there is out there and kind of hopefully get started without having to pay for this really big course or kind of stumble when they're going into that. If anybody wonders what's in my garage, I know everybody's looking for their items. If you were on the Facebook group today, you noticed that my wife got 6 of the life-size Elsa dolls. So they're the 3-foot tall dolls. I got 6 of those out in there right now. Bunch of other Frozen stuff from Walmart. I'm kind of playing the Frozen card again going into Christmas because I've seen the demand. And when I walk into a store and I see the aisles just bare where everything was frozen, I think that it's going to be a good find. So I do that a lot, and then I have some other items. I got a lot of Halloween candy out there right now from the local Walmart, kind of stocking up on that. And I think I got another question here from Laura. Cool. Do you advertise your bundles? Love the advertising feature. If you don't use that, I highly recommend you take a look at it. That is one of my upcoming videos, kind of walking you through how to use the advertising feature. And if you like that, let me know because I think it's going to be a good one. Not 100% sure, but I think it's going to be something that people can use. The bundles, I actually do advertise almost every single bundle I put together, especially if I'm the only seller of that bundle. And what I do with those is I put my keywords in that are special to that bundle pack, and then I let them sell. And let me see here if I can get my seller account to pull up, and I'll just give you guys a view of how useful advertising can be, because none of this stuff actually gives you what I've been advertising, but they're my bundles. So I've been doing a lot of, I did a few Frozen bundles, but not a whole lot, and they're just kind of trying to take off now. But I also see here, hold on just one second, I'm taking a look. Yes, Mark, I saw your question pop up here. If you buy from Amazon, use a separate account that does not tie it to your other account. You do not want to compromise that account that you sell with because that is kind of your moneymaker. So I always use a different account. It's in my wife's name, totally separate, different set of credit cards that I use with that, and a different email address, and it's all through her. So she's actually a crazy online shopper. So I'm going to do a screen share real quick and ties in here. Watch me go into Oblivion again. There we go. We're going to go to my campaign manager. And here is a look at my campaigns that I'm currently running on Amazon. You'll see that I spent, if we want to add these up, maybe 20 bucks lifetime on these. And you can kind of see the sales that have been derived from these. My favorite are these shampoos. This is actually my liquidation item that I've purchased. I've put them in bundles. And I've spent about $10 in advertising and sold about $2,900 through the advertising that I've been doing. So it goes a long way, and it's really not that expensive. You see I run them. I actually change the keywords that are on there and go from there. But just a little bit of money in advertising goes a long way. And we as online sourcers actually go about clicking on these ads, but you always have to remember what the user does, not what We do. We are a different group of people. We are not the ones that you're selling to. So when you do pricing and you do advertising and you do all those other things, think about how you would be if you were a consumer, not an online sourcer or an online seller, because there's a whole different world. And if you think about it, a lot of money's made. My full-time job is at a digital marketing firm. I run Facebook ads, I run vision ads. Ads are a lot of things that I do. So to use those things that I know and kind of transition them over to Amazon, I know there's a huge market for all the ads that I use on my daily job. So I want to transition that over, and I've seen some really good results. I hope to expand that sponsored products area, and those results are. But those were a few tests, and for $20 to make about $4,000, $5,000 of sales through it, I'll do that all the time. E-King just asked, are products found only by using Keepa tractor and those camel bins bargains? No. I do a lot of just searching. I take a lot of what I find in a retail store, deals, find products of that same category, do some arbitrage on there. I use Price Blank to kind of do those quick comparisons. So if I'm on a product page on Walmart, it'll tell me what it sells for on Amazon. It just it kind of finds that information for you. I did, for about a month period, use some VAs to get me some leads so that I can find some products. They found approximately about 500 products for me during that time. So I'm still working through that list today to kind of see what they found, what's still a good deal, what's not. And I also am subscribed to one BOLO list that gets sent out daily. And I'm so about that. The whole paid aspect of it kind of is interesting to me because a lot of the deals that are on it were good in the past, but I feel like they're kind of used over. Just my opinion on it. I'm still giving it a chance. I'm going to do a 2-month kind of trial on it. But the cool thing was I did find a product on my first list that through that paid service that made me about $2,000. The list was only like $50 a month. So I feel like I've gotten my money out of it, and I'm going to kind of let it run for a little bit to see if I can continue to find products. And if I can find 1 or 2 a month out of the 200, 300 that I receive, I'd be very happy from that. But they're not only found with that Keepa and Tractor, so don't think those are the only places you can look. You can just start doing some searching, kind of find those categories that you like, and go from there. So thank you, E-King, for that. Laura, I will get a video up for you in the next week or so about advertising, and you are very welcome for the answers. I'm glad I could help. Let me take one more look here on the master group if there's any questions. Robert, I see that you have a question here about the type of ROI margins that I focus on. There's a few different questions or answers I have on this. Currently, I've gotten a lot pickier with what I've purchased. I go for anything that is 100% or more return. When I got started, I looked at it as this. I could invest my money into the stock market and possibly get a return between 4 and 8%. So what I decided to do was anything that was 30% or higher that was at least making me a $5 profit, I would buy and send in because it felt like I was leaving money laying on a shelf if I didn't. Now that I'm kind of finding some higher return on investment numbers, I can kind of put those aside, but I dropped those profit margins down a lot when I started, and I still do sometimes. It depends on how quick I can turn the inventory. Low sales rank, low return means it's going to turn quick, and I'd rather get 20% on my money than 0% on my money. So it really depends on what inventory flexibility I have, but I will go down to as low as 30 to 40% return on something. And I'm going to do a blog post in the near future, maybe in the next month, that shows you if you are to, it's kind of the theory of compound interest, take $100 and invest it, make 10%, 20%, reinvest that, and show how quickly and how many inventory turns you would have to make it a large, substantial amount of money. So it just really depends on how fast you can turn that inventory. Faster the turn, lower ROI I look at, so that's kind of my balance there. I try to shoot for 100 or better, but sometimes I will drop down between that 30 to 50 range depending on the product and how fast it will turn. So I hope that answers that question. Let's see here, that's still Laura. Anything on the page? No. We'll do one more question if there is one. If not, there's Criminal Minds getting ready to play, and I told my wife I'd be in there to watch it with her. So I want to thank everyone for joining me this evening for the first live Q&A. If you have any feedback on it, please leave it in the FBA Master Group. I'd love to hear it. If you'd like me to do one of these a week or one of these every 2 weeks, or you never want to hear from me again, let me know. Just please be nice. I try my best, and I'm not trying to sell you anything or do anything crazy like that. So if it was really bad, just find someone else that you can listen to too. But I hope that I've been able to help you in some way. If you do have anything you'd like to re-watch of this, this has been recorded and it'll be published to YouTube immediately once I end the broadcast. So you can kind of hop on there and watch it. Please feel free to share this with anybody. And for anyone that doesn't know, I would encourage you to check out fbamaster.com. It is my blog. I post income reports, I post educational articles or my opinions on things as well. And then my big thing is the BOLOs. I try to share deals that I find online. You will find some are affiliate links, some are not. And you can always search the product yourself. And once you use something like Fat Wallet or Ebates, it actually takes my affiliate link away anyway. So all I'm doing is trying to help and share those deals and kind of get you to understand that there are those out there. So please take a look on the site, fbamaster.com. Go ahead and take a look. There should be 4 videos up there, like 50 different posts between BOLOs, some more information about me. This video will be there, so if you're looking for it, you can find it there. But you'll find everything from what I have purchased in the past, what I'm purchasing now. If you're out and about and go to a Target and are not approved and frozen, you could buy those big Elsa dolls. I'll buy them off of you and send you 20, 30 bucks for doing it. So that's something that I posted about today. The profit margins are so good, and I know some people cannot find those items and sell them on Amazon. So if you do come across one, let me know. Shoot me an email. My email address is on the site, and it goes straight to my personal email account. So there's something for you. And then also you can sign up for my email list. Anyone that signs up and responds back to me gets a personalized item that I find for them based upon the category they choose. So you'll get like an automated email, and then from there, I'll send you a personal one following up with the BOLO of your choice. So I hope everyone's enjoyed this. I know it's been fun. I haven't done one of these Hangouts in quite some time. So I hope it went well. Look forward to your feedback, and I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Cheers and have a great evening.